Hello everybody, it's Trisha from Huntress Habits, and I've been trying to do this all week. I managed to post some pictures, but I got my Spellbinders large die of the month in. It has two pieces, these right here and this one, and I fell in love with them. Now, normally I would not go after the roses. I would want unusual flowers like daisies and such. But I just fell in love with these, and they don't have any embossing. But I like the way they cut out the inside so that you could do some watercoloring or make them look stained glass is what a similar example to the back. And I thought, I do not want to do it the way they did it. So I thought I'd try something different, and this is how I did it. So let's put this over to the side. By the way, y'all can find a link to this down below, and I also got this one on clearance from Spellbinders. Look in their clearance, I think it was 70% off, and I'll show you what I did with that in order to make the card. And you know what I forgot? The card. And then it dawned on me, no, I didn't forget the card. Emery took it home. So I'll show you another one. Now, I don't know if you can see how that glimmers in the light, but all of this is with the glitter stick, and I'll show you how we did that. A glitter marker from Nuvo. You can also find a link to that down below. And I was going to do this live, guys, but I still don't get enough signal. And I'm beginning to think that it might have to do to the location of my work area. So I'm going to try later tonight to do a Couture live, or either early in the morning. I'm going to try both times because I really would like to get you interested in Couture while it's a new company. We marked our 1-year anniversary Saturday, and I've only been in it since February, and I'm seeing it grow with leaps and bounds. We now have 3 catalogs, and between CRICUT and all the wonderful stamping products, making scrapbooks and cards, and now Couture, I'm in love with all this. I've been also making, let's dig out some of these while I'm at it because I've got it ready for a video. I may get it done tonight. I've been making rosettes for 4th of July, and I don't know if I'll get that done tonight or not. We'll see. I would have loved to have done that live because you have to hold it a little while for the glue, even though I do have a good tacky glue. Okay, let's get started. What I am using is, and notice it's sticking to my magnetic board because this is metal. And if any of y'all have a die cutter, whether it be the Cuttlebug or some other brand, you know that you can get a magnetic mat so that it stays in position. Okay, let me go step by step here, or I'm going to lose track of where I am. We're not doing this one exactly. This is the one, the other one that comes in the die. This one right here. I'm losing my focus. Can y'all tell? That's a good thing, maybe. Give you something else to laugh about. Okay, I'm doing the one that we're not cutting tonight. That's not this one. We're doing this one. Okay? It's same die set. And they're large. And there's 2 in this set. And I was very pleased with them when I got them. Like I said, I fell in love almost immediately. Now, I'm going to do some of this with you, and like you can see, I've done a little bit of it ahead of time. I'm using, get back to track here, I'm using Bristol board, or Bristol paper, because it's a little bit thicker, because I do not want the die to cut it. If you use cardstock, I would use a 110 cardstock, and I would almost say that you would need to use 2 pieces on this instead of just 1 piece. Now this is just a cardstock, a black cardstock. It's slick on both sides, no texture to it. And we're going to put, okay, crazy lady, get it together. Okay, we're going to put our A plate, our magnetic, then our B plate, then we will put this one down. Let me get my Cuttlebug set up too. Notice how the handle stores very easily, and when I flop this down, flop it down, that's the word I'm using tonight, this can't go anywhere. And that's one of the things that I really like about the Cuttlebug. See, I'm trying to move it right now. If it moves, it's going to be because this moves. My Tim Holtz cutting mat, which also can be found in many places now. I got it right when it released. I'm in love with it, and that's a whole nother video. Okay, now we've got our die on here with the ridge side up. Notice the flat side is against the magnetic board. And I want to make sure that this goes to where it cuts all of it. So I'm going to tilt it just a little bit. What I did was take a big sheet. I believe this was a 9 by 11. And this was probably 11 by 14. And I just cut it into fourths. You know, so I had 4 sheets. I'm not cutting it any particular size. I just wanted to get at least 4 out of the sheet. And I'm using those items not only because this is thick, but it's because I have them available. And like I said too, you could watercolor with this layout, and that was my initial purpose, and watercolor is great on Bristol. Okay, and now once I've got my paper down, I want to get my other B plate. That's the one that's cut up, and it's meant to be that way. Okay, you want to always have one that's cut up and one that's flat. And I'm hitting my computer when I go to move that. Okay, so we're going to roll it through, and we're only going to do it one time. Oh my goodness, I'm doing it at the right time of night too. The deer hears me. There's only one out there tonight that I can see. Okay, I cut that, and see all these little bitty pieces? All I want is this part out of here. Okay, so instead of taking the time to do all that on camera, that's why I went ahead and cut another one. And on this one, all I want, it's going to come out kind of like a puzzle. Still going to be attached a little bit, unless, like I said, you use 2 sheets of cardstock. It might come out a little bit easier. And as much as I love this design, I probably will make many of them. Okay, and I'm just throwing my scrap away. And all these little black pieces will just come right out of there. You can hit them a little bit, they'll come out, or you can take a pokey tool, a pointed surface tool, and they'll come right out. But I don't want to do that on your time. So that's why I went ahead and had one ready for us. Okay, I've got pieces all over, and I think I have to use this one again, so let me get this out of the way. Put it over to the side. take my magnetic out because I'm not going to be using it again, but I am going to be using the Spellbinders embossing folder to create this right here. Oh, and it just dawned on me, do I have cardstock? Yeah, I do. I have some already cut. Oh, good. What I did, and we're going to do it again for you. I've got another piece. And this is probably a technique you've done many times if you've had embossing folders. And this is the Nuvo Hybrid ink pad. It's a fast drying one, and it is a permanent. So you want to have some wet cloths nearby, or maybe some Lysol or Clorox cleaning, because you want to take as much of that off so that it doesn't damage your next one that you don't want this design on. This ink on. And I just rub the ink pad over where my paper is going to be. Am I getting the right side? Yes, I am. Now, if I want all of these lines accentuated, I would want to take the corner and get down in there real good. As you can see, there is a difference between these two. One has a little bit more lines than the other. And this one, I probably put a little bit more than what I did on those. And I wanted the texture side of the paper to be the woven part, the embossed part, not the debossed. So I want to make sure and put that next to the ink. Okay, once I get that in there, here is where I use my embossing mat and plate. And let's see if it goes in now. No, I need to take a plate out, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I've still got that embossing plate. I'm going to take my smooth one out. It really doesn't matter. I'm just wanting to get the thickness. For this type of embossing folder, all you need is that embossing mat on the Cuttlebug. Now I could have run it back through there and got a little bit more, but look how well it went into the lines. Now just because I have the paper available, the ink is still kind of wet, I'm going to go ahead and put another piece down on there. Run it through. This time I'm going to come back through with it. Crank, crank. I'm going to come back through. See how much impression we get. There we go. So I still was able to use some of that ink. Okay, so it's all in the look that you're looking for. Like I said, on this one I really used a lot. So I've got a look that's not exactly the same on each one of them. Now, for your sake and my, I'm going to go ahead and use the Clorox wipe. It will not hurt this Spellbinders folder. Now the newer ones, it might, so you need to know what kind of plastic you're dealing with. See how much ink I'm getting off? If you were very particular about your folders, you might want to use a water base so it would clean off easier than what this is going to. So please think about that when you ink it. Okay, and we'll finish it up later. I can actually put this in here, and that way I can still get it cleaned good. And I could also go and get one of those erasers, the cleaning erasers. That would work good. Okay, so we're through with the Cuttlebug. We're going to get it out of the way. Just flip it up, flip this over, put it in my storing spot, and let's make a card. Okay, what I tell you, we're using the Nuvo glitter pens. Now, I would recommend, if I had thought I was going to like these, but I'm not real big on glitter, and so I didn't really know what I was getting. So, but I would get the 3-packs of the different colors if you're wanting to get any. Okay, let's see. Let's do the roses real quick first, and I'll show you how easy this is and how you do not have to be precise. You just don't want to color over into, I wanted to show you here, into your leaf area. Okay, here's going to let you know how much you've got left. When you first get it, you want to shake it up real good, or anytime when you're fixing to use it. And I have a plastic sheet here. I could do it on top of my pad and it'll clean off good. I'm going to set this aside so it doesn't get hurt. And this is just to get it going. This is going to be a clear, almost clear when you first get them. But if you mash down on it some and pump it, then it will, the marker will come out. Years ago, I used to sell, it had a ballpoint tip, tricolor, I don't even remember the name. That's how old I am. And you had to pump those things really good, but you couldn't pump them hard enough that if the ball tip got up in there, you were sunk, because then you had straight paint coming out and you had no control over it. You couldn't stop it. It was a good product. I loved it. Gosh, I can't think of the name of that. Maybe some of y'all watching this see this. Now, see, I'm not staying in the lines because when I put this over this, see, that's going to be rose too. And you could make it all different colors. You could do your roses, a yellow and a pink and a red. But all I have 4 colors of these glitter pens. And so I'm making use of what I have. And they're very inexpensive, or I wouldn't have them. Now, you see how messy I'm doing it? You can do it this messy too. Oh, I think that was a leaf. It's not anymore. Okay. Leaf, leaf, rose. I'm not sure. I don't remember. from doing the first one, like this design. But I was very precise on filling it in, and then I had to go back and fill it in. Okay, let's see. I think that's rose. We're going to make this little one right here and this one. Oh, that was probably a leaf. Okay, now this is still wet. Doesn't take it long. So think about that. And when I go to store these, I'm going to put the tip side down so that your ink, your glitter ink, is going to always be ready. You won't have to shake it that much to get it started. Oh, it's been a good day, good day. Only got up to 100 today. Texas is hot this year, I'm telling you. August is going to be a killer. And of course, my dad is out there trying to plant an impatient. He had one in the front flower bed die. And so he decides we're going to go. Last night he decided he wanted to go to replace it. And I said, no, let's wait till tomorrow, please, when it's a little bit cooler. And I managed to talk him into it. Okay, I'm going to do something I normally wouldn't do. I'm going to see how that colors over that pink. Oh, look at that. No problem. Learn something new. It helps to experiment. And I don't think this piece belongs there. That little piece right there. You could even let children do this project. Just kind of mark it with the tip on where the colors go. Or just let them do it like they wanted to. What was that noise? Just let them do it like they want to. Okay, get all that out of the way. I'm going to lift this up. And like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but it will be in a minute. Let me shine this light over here a little bit. Can you see that glittery shine? Now, watch this. How easy is that? So, we're going to find my glue first off. Where did I put it? There we go. I use a T-pin in the end. I'm using CRICUT tacky glue. And for those of you that might not know, I could do it on this, but I'm going to do it over here. Tim put this on here for a reason. Because you can glue all you want and get glue all over it. And because whether it's made out of silicone or any other surface, it will peel right off. And I'm just putting little dabs, actually bigger dabs than what I intended to. Just daubing them through here. Okay, back to Dad in the plant. He comes back. We went fairly early. We were back here by 10:30, I'd say, which is early for us. So he usually doesn't get out of bed until about 8:30. Thank goodness. It used to be anywhere from 3 o'clock to 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. But anyway, he sleeps quite a bit in now. He knows there's no sense to get up. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, I think I've got enough on there. Now I want to be careful when I'm putting it down on here that I line these up, because this is very delicate. Even though I used a 110 cardstock, okay, think I did it. Now I've got a little piece of card that I don't want to take my scissors because I'm afraid I'll tear that black. And then I've got that piece I need to get out. Okay, now like I was saying, when you were marking it with the marker, the glitter marker, if you don't get this black on here, you've got to go back and get all the little white edges, and that's why I wasn't very precise. Got one little piece there. I wasn't precise about it. Oh, need a little bit more glue there. I can put it on this side. Oh. This glue does dry matte, so that if you do get it on the outside of your card, nobody's going to know it. It won't dry shiny. Okay, I need to wipe my fingers. And you could do this just the opposite. You know, you don't have to use black. You could use brown. You could use anything. But you can see right there where I'm talking about with the marker. So I'm going to go back over that one little area right there. And see how it gets a little bit darker when I do that? So I'm going to go through and just darken up the sides, just as if you were watercoloring. And get a little bit more dimension going on that way, putting that second layer. And you could do the same thing with your rose. I'm just going to do it in a couple of places so you can see what I'm talking about. When you're doing a rose like that, do it on the inside instead of the outer edges. Your inside of the rose is the darker shaded area. It's the side that's going down into the rose, so it's going to have a shadow on it. Some people darken that outside edge, but you really need to be doing the inside of the rose to give it that dimension. And this glitter pen just does it a little bit, not bad. But if you were watercoloring, that's the way you should be doing it. Okay, now where we go from here. We're going to choose which one of these we want to put on it. I used purple because I was using pink here. And purple just happens to be my favorite color. So then we're going to place it on some black. And we're going to trim that black off just a little bit so it will fit perfectly on here. So that when we're done, we have this. Okay, just a different design. Now if you wanted to keep the black all the way, you know, just trim it down to the size of your A2 that you already have, or if you're doing a 5x7, you're just going to have more border around it. So pick the one that you like. Anytime you have a die that cuts out these edges, these insides, you could do this. Whether it's a triangle or a triangular design or a circle design, anything where that inside, you could do this. So there's close to being your finished product. And I'm leaving them blank as far as sentiments go. Oh, I said it right. For those of you that know me, know that usually I don't. But what was I saying? Oh, I'm leaving the sentiments off because I may be using these as thank you cards. But they're so pretty. I could be just doing, hey, thinking of you. But I'm really trying to accumulate several thank you cards because, you know, there comes that time when that's going to be needed more. And so I want to kind of get quite a few of those handmade by Huntress Habits. See you guys later. Have a great day.